All right, we are on to the second part of our season premiere of Queen Sugar. Thank you guys for clicking on. Let's talk about.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to pull my soapbox. That's basically. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. Like I said, this is part two of the two-part season premiere of Queen Sugar. This is season 3. Basically, it's episode 2. All right, so I left out a part on yesterday's episode, and the reason I did it, I said, okay, I'll just talk about it when we go to the next part, because I thought they were going to start back on it, but they didn't. They didn't say anything more about it. But there was a part on there where old girl, we had seen her before, little brown skin girl, cute girl, but real, real ghetto hood chick. She basically approached Ralph Angel and told him, I heard you and Darla broke up and this, that, and the other, and I heard you got a spot for somebody in on the other side of your bed. And I was just done with her. I said, girl, you are really a slut. Like, just, I mean, not, she just didn't come up with, I'm interested in trying to get with you. I'm interested. Oh, I think you're so sharp. I mean, you could say any of these things to Ralph Angel because he's sharp. So, I mean, any of these things. No, she was straight for, baby, I want you to bang this box and that bitch is out of the way. You gonna bang the box or what? I was like, girl, really? So, the last thing that we saw was after he got his test results and all of this, he was just in a slump, And she hit him at the right time, baby. She hit him on the phone, and he had her come on over. He met her out front. And this just is when a man don't have no respect for you at all. He met this bitch out front. And she gets out her car. She looking all cute. She like, yeah, I said, this bitch that came over here to fuck. Go ahead, girl. Oh, whore. And she come and he gonna say, we ain't going inside. You know what? Even if I was on a slut mission, which is not my get down, I think I'm better than that. But if I was on that mission and I was in all of my sluttiness, I think my slut switch would have turned off when he said, we're not going inside. You don't think enough of me to take me in the house? Took her ass right on over there in that goddamn tool shed and banged her out. Was out there drinking a beer. Waiting on. And I know the first thing I thought said you had to get drunk to even do this. And then you don't even think enough of me to take me in the house. So I'm sure after he got that banging her around, he just sent her on right back to her car. She didn't get to take a bath for nothing. I said, girl, you are a whore. Are you live, whore? Whore is you live. I said, that's, ooh, okay, girl. Do better, bitch. Anyway, moving on. And Ralph Angel, you something else. You are something else. You're interesting. You're interesting. You think a lot of yourself, but you do some old dog, dirty dick shit. Whatever. Spoiled. That last baby, honey, that youngest mess, honey, for somebody who actually has sisters. How would you feel if somebody treated your sisters like that? But anyway, moving on. Okay, so Nova. Nova, first thing we're dealing with, Nova did this. Remember, she did the article on the 4 kids that took the knee during the basketball game. And her job, the editors of that, basically reworded her, twisted her words in the newspaper, and basically took the footage and basically said, oh, well, these kids started trouble at a football game, or at a basketball game. That's how it was put up in the newspaper. Horrible. It was totally turned into something negative. And then when she approached him about it, the editor told her, you got to lay low for now because sales are down since your other article went viral. Our sales been down. This, that, and the other. And she's like looking like, this is not what I signed up for. So I was like, okay. So this began this whole thing of Nova thinking about quitting the newspaper. She actually sat down with her girlfriends. And of course, there's like four good girlfriends, and a couple of them were like, well, Nova, I don't know about that. Like, until you get everything together with the book and the book is done, I don't know if you want to take that jump like that. Keep your regular job, and they're thinking that way. And then there's the other ones like, girl, you got to do what's on your heart. She ran into Aunt Vi. Aunt Vi is kind of, just doing what she's doing because Aunt Vi is actually everything is looking up for her as far as her pies and things go. And Aunt Vi is on the high of, you know what, I'm chasing my dream no matter what. I'm going to put everything online. I'm going to chase my dream. It's a good feeling, but it is scary. Trust me, I understand. Good feeling, but it is scary to know how am I going to do what I need to do, chase this dream, and I don't know whether it's going to work out or not. But hell, she got a 6-figure advance, so you know me, I'd have been gone. I'd have been like, y'all, fuck this job. I'm out of here, honey. Because I believe in me. I've always believed in me, and I trust what God gave me. So I'll roll. But again, now my mother is the complete opposite. My mother like, goddamn it, you're not gonna be no goddamn starving artist. And I'm like, girl, I can afford to lose weight. That's just how I think. But anyway, so that's basically what Nova has going on. We're gonna talk about it a little bit later too. Okay, so Remy and Charlie end up having this little meeting where Charlie had actually thrown like a little brunch and had all of the African American farmers that come in, the community of farmers that come in, and she thanked them for their business, for the ones who have actually stayed with Queen Sugar Mill and this, that, and the other. And she said, we're doing good. We're going into the next harvest and we're going to be good and all that. And your prices have been locked in for the next 5 years. She didn't tell them about the whole thing about Landry buying everything. She ain't give them all that. And damn dark cloud over everything, goddamn Remy. Gonna say, so tricking your people and giving their money to the Landrys. And she's like, listen, this is business. I'm doing business. I've done the best for them the way that I know to do the best for them. And fuck all that shit you're talking about, Remy. Remy, I understand his point, but Remy is like a dark cloud over some shit. Just always just extra. He's real extra. I don't know. There's a good part about it, and there's a bad part about it. He's aggravating overall, though. Aggravating. And he's a person that it would be very hard, and we've seen this, very hard to have a relationship with because he can't separate. He can't separate. When he doesn't agree with one of her business decisions, the whole fucking relationship goes down the tubes because you're standing in judgment all the goddamn time. Sit down, Remy. That's why he's going to end up alone over there in that house. But whatever, because he's going to fuck around. Charlie, you see there's no grass growing under her feet. People are always after Charlie. But anyway, let's go on. So Charlie ends up having a talk with Davis and Micah. Micah wants to go to public school. Charlie is completely against it. She's completely against it. Later in the program, she ends up running into, by accident, she runs into some, he had got a camera as a gift. And he had been running around really having a good time doing this photography. And she's seen the pictures, and it was all of these pictures of New Orleans and the people in New Orleans, and just very, very good black images. And you can see he's really getting in touch with his black side and where he came from, and he's learning. And he had a talk with her later on, and he told her, this is the first time that I feel like I'm fitting in. It's the first time I feel like I'm really fitting in. And she was like, you know what? All right. She gave in. And she told him, if anything happens, anything goes wrong, I'm gonna snatch you right the fuck out of public school. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna have it. So, in the midst of that, there was also a conversation she had with Davis, because there was a leak in that video clip of the cop, and he's like in all this trouble now. And Davis had actually said to Charlie, "Did you have anything to do with that leak, that video leak?" And then he asked her, she said, we have to fight back. Do we always have to take the back seat and just take whatever's given out? He needs to pay, period. He says, yes, I understand that. But did Micah see it? How does Micah feel about this? And is this helping or hurting Micah? Did you get in touch with him? Have you talked to him? Have you seen? And so that all led up to her really breaking down and saying okay to the public school situation. So interesting. So anyway, that was that. Speaking of the law and law enforcement, Ralph Angel and his parole officer actually ran into each other. And this is something that I think they're probably going to build on later on, where he basically told him, at this point, I think you're doing really, really well. And I'm thinking of applying for an early release of you from parole because he has like a year left. And he's like, and I'm thinking I can get you off in like 3 months. And he's like, absolutely, I would be, I would love that. And then he was talking about hiring some more people. He just in general conversation was saying, you need to hire some people for the farm. And he talked to him. He said, well, how about possibly hiring parolees? Would you be interested in something like that? So Ralph Angel had a kind of a strange look on his face. And I think it's because he knows both sides. And he says, I can see, said it would be good for you to be helping some brothers that are exactly like yourself. That's right. But everybody who's being paroled is not exactly like him. And that was the thing. There's that. It's like a double-edged sword. I know the bullshit when I see it, and I don't want to be tied up and have my business fucked up with the bullshit. But on the other hand, if somebody didn't give me a chance, where would I be? So I kind of seen those wheels turning on Ralph Angel, and I'm sure we're going to talk about that some more, as the season goes on. So they left that there. Jacob Boudreaux and Charlie meet up, and it's just a whole little thing where we're just watching their interaction. Jacob Boudreaux is so entrenched and wanting to be with Charlie that is funny. It is funny, and I'm just looking at him like he just could just sop her up with a biscuit. And every time they come on the screen, I just look and be like, got him. Now, the only thing is if Charlie starts to fall for him. Because he's really not a bad guy. Like, Jacob Boudreaux is cool, but it's just the family and the history where the problem is. And I could see Charlie actually falling in with him and it just being a whole mess. And I'm sorry that she has to do it to him because he actually is cool. As far as we've seen, he's cool. But anyway, I don't know because he's turning turncoat on the other side of the family, but the other side of the family ain't shit. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. We'll talk about that a little bit. Okay, let's talk about Lil Blue. Lil Blue need ass whooping. Blue needs his ass whipped, period. He went to Showing Out Day in the store. Shoe shop in Hollywood was going to help Raw out with getting him some tennis shoes and that. And Blue got to Showing Out in the store, and Ralph Angel had to address it, and the cops is in there because you ain't allowed to beat your kids in the store. I said, child would take his ass. And when we got home, I would wear Blue's ass loose, honey. No. And I said, you need your goddamn ass whooped. You're doing too much. I said, Blue, They went on out of the store, he ain't get no shoes, and he took his ass and put him on timeout, and then he came back to him and said, I'm sorry for being bad, Daddy. And he told me, he said, you don't got a bad bone in your body. You just was acting up or whatever. He said to him, kissed him on the head. And then he got it. He all right now that Rollin put the hammer down on him, but he should have beat his ass. Fuck that time out. I'd have whooped his ass. But anyway, Showing Out in the street. Child, wait till my kids tell their stories, honey, because I've gotten both of them. They both had their moment where they decided that they wanted to be cute with Daddy out the street. But we didn't even wait to get home. Daddy, get your ass together. Wherever you hold court, motherfucker, this is where we're going to hold court. We could be in church. And I have gotten one of them in church. So, I ain't for that bullshit. I would give them the world, but I ain't taking no bullshit. I ain't got time for that shit. Beat the shit out of you. You better go ahead. And wherever you do it, that's where we're going to do it. Now, it is what it is. But when that's how I was raised. When you hold court, my mother fuck you up where you at. You be down to the courthouse. You like, take him. Take me and take him because I'm going to fuck him up. Just is what it is. Anyway, so that's that. Now, uh, Vi ran into some situation. Like I said, things we're looking at with her in her past. The grocery store said, you know what, Val, we'll give you this whole rack over here, right in the main area for your pass because they sold so fast. Said, I'll double my order and he said, I'll give you 25% more if you could double the order. She said, no problem. Said it was a problem with the oven. So she ended up, and she in the midst of this order doing it, she goes out to the restaurant where she manages, and she tells Clyde, Clyde runs in and he's like, who are you? The girl's like, I'm Miss Vi's assistant. And he's like, well, Vi, why is she here? And he's just real nasty about it. He's like, she's not on my payroll. She's a insurance liability. I'm like, and this, that, and the other. And this is not, you not come down to my place and do your side hustle. And she was like, what? She's like, oh, okay, no problem. She's like, all that I've done for you, and you can't do this one thing for me. And she's like, that's fine. She said, but I'm telling you this, Clyde, if I roll up out of here, that's it. I'm done. I ain't coming back. I'm done. And he went on in his office, like, took the gamble. So Vi was like, whatever, gone. And earlier on, what he don't know, Hollywood done got his check. So Vi's like, fuck this shit. I'm chasing my dream. I ain't kissing no ass. I'm going on. But she ain't, and that's the other thing. She don't want to ask Hollywood to do anything either. Because when he wanted to take her out the shop, she's like, no. We said we wasn't going to touch that bunny. And this, that, and the other. I said, girl, live a little bit. Vi, shit. But anyway, she ended up going down and had to eat crow down to the church with this, she wanted to use the ovens. And again, she needed things done right then. And the woman said, Val, well, you left us. And she said, well, there was other things that went on as to why I left here. And she said, well, why would we want to help you out? And she told her, well, because I was going to give, and that's how you can always buy the damn church, folks. I said, able to be badass Christians. She said, well, I was going to give 10%. Donate 10% of my profits donation. Oh, yes. And gave her the keys. But she was real nasty in the beginning. I was like, ugh. It went all through me for her to have to basically kiss this woman's ass to get what she wanted. And I was like, girl, if you don't have Hollywood buy you some space and some stoves to do what it is you need to do, have him invest, girl. All that ass kissing and all that having to eat crow, fuck that shit. Oh, that made me so mad. Anyway, Ralph Angel and Charlie go out one night because there was something when there was a little problem with Charlie and Remy had their little bout. Ralph Angel seen it and he was like, don't worry about that, I'm going to take you out. Took her out. They went out there just kicking it. And he was questioning her saying, I don't know if I'm actually going to be right to even do this. Like, am I the best thing for Blue? And that she told him, you have always been the best thing for Blue and you're going to be fine. I do the same thing. I question my parenting with Micah, but it is what it is. We're going to do it. We're going to make it work. And that's it. And that's that. So that was that. She told me he goes these dances. So then they're going to leave the club separately. Charlie goes out. Her car wouldn't kick over. She ends up meeting this guy named Romero. And Romero is of Latin descent. I said, oh, girl, you really got it going on, honey. You got you this black man over here, honey. You got you this white man, girl. And now you got you a lovely little Latina, honey. I said, well, come on, bitch. So Romero jumped the car for her. He's cute, real nice guy. And I said, come on. Because first he was like talking to her and then he was going to leave. And then he walked back and said, can I give you my number? He shot his shot. I said, yes, Romero, shoot your shoot with Charlie, honey. So he shot his shot with Charlie. She's like, all right, took the number. I said, yes, indeed. See, Charlie's hot shit. Honey, that damn Remy, you done blew it, Remy. Anyway, that's that. So, interesting to see where that goes. Then we seen Charlie meeting up with her private investigator. This is where she got the clip from. And also it's a woman private investigator, she's been looking at some things, finds out that Sam Landry's been drowning in debt for like the last 2 years. And she had a whole folder on it. She's like, this is good shit right here. I said, oh, the shit is about to be on. So, last thing. They go into the grocery store. They're going to see, on Vibe delivered the pies, and they were going to see the pies on display. They want to take pictures and everything. Had Michael with them and all that. The whole family was there. And she gets there, and her pies are not in the right space. And she got so upset. And everybody's kind of just looking, and they're like, she's like, no, she asked somebody, where's Mr. whatever his name is? He was gone. And I think it was just an oversight or whatever. But her things weren't where they were supposed to be, where he promised. And she was like, it's a small thing, but it's my thing. It's my thing. And she went off to the side, and Hollywood has said, I got her. All the family took the pies and moved them their goddamn self. And she said, I will not be sidestepped. I will not be put in a corner. This is my time. It's my time. And I was like, I understand that vibe. And Nova seen that. And that's what prompted Nova to make that step. And the next thing we saw, baby, we saw Nova hand in her resignation from the newspaper. And that's where we ended. I was like, okay, we are on and popping. I love Queen Sugar. I absolutely love this program. The only thing I think I love more than this program is Greenleaf. Because I love Greenleaf, and I can't wait for Greenleaf to come back. Ooh, yes, indeed. But anyway, I enjoyed the season premiere. The 2 episodes were both equally as good. Ava DuVernay turns it out every time. All right, you guys. I'll see y'all next week. We'll be back to Wednesdays next week. I think it's 10 o'clock is the time that it actually comes, Wednesday at 10. So I will see you guys then. Later.